Born in 1795 in the Tonkinese town of Bac Nearich in North Vietnam, Tran and Dung was the son of pagan parents. In search of work for themselves in 1807, his parents moved to the ancient citadel of Hanoi. Here their 12-year-old son was taken care of by a catechist and for 3 years was instructed in the Catholic faith. Baptized in Vinh Tri, he received the Christian name Andrew, Anre, in baptism and went on to learn both Chinese and Latin and himself became a catechist. He was selected for further studies in theology and was ordained to the priesthood on the 15th of March 1823. An exemplary priest, Andrew was ardent and indefatigable in his preaching, often fasted and drew many to the faith by his simple and moral life. As a testament of the love which his congregation had for him, in 1835, when he was imprisoned during the persecution of the Annamite Emperor Minh Mang, his freedom was purchased exclusively by donations from his parishioners. The Vietnamese Christians suffered unspeakably during this time. Beginning in 1832, Minh Mang expelled all foreign missionaries and commanded all Vietnamese Christians to demonstrate their renunciation of the Catholic faith by trampling on a crucifix. Churches were destroyed, religious instruction was forbidden. Christians were branded on the face with the words Ta Dao, false religion, and Christian families and villages were obliterated. Many endured extreme privations and hardship, many more were put to death for their fidelity to the faith. To avoid further persecution by the authorities, Andrew Dung changed his name to Lac and relocated to a different region. While visiting a fellow priest, in order to confess himself, Dung-Lac was arrested with Father Peter Thi on the 10th of November 1839. In exchange for a monetary ransom paid to their captors, the two priests were liberated but their freedom was short-lived. Rearrested not long afterwards, they were taken to Hanoi and severely tortured. They were beheaded shortly before Christmas Day on the 21st of December 1839. The priests, Andrew Dung-Lac and Peter Thi, were beatified on the 27th of May 1900 by Pope Leo XIII and formed part of a group of Vietnamese martyrs beatified together on that day. Another group, Dominicans all, was beatified on the 20th of May 1906 and a third on the 2nd of May 1909 both by Saint Pope Pius X. A fourth group, which included 2 Spanish bishops, was beatified on the 29th of April 1951 by Pope Pius XII. All 117 martyrs were canonized in Rome on the 19th of June 1988 by Saint Pope John Paul II. These 117 martyrs met the deaths during several persecutions of Christians that swept through the Vietnamese peninsula between the years 1625 and 1886. Approximately 300,000 gave their lives for the Catholic faith and further beatifications may be expected from amongst the glorious ranks. Among the 117 that have been canonized were 96 Vietnamese and 21 foreign missionaries. Of the Vietnamese group, 37 were priests and 59 were lay people, among whom were catechists and tertiaries. One of them was a woman, mother of 6 children. Of the missionaries, 11 were Spaniards, 6 bishops and 5 priests, all Dominicans and 10 were French, 2 bishops and 8 priests from the Société des Missions Étrangères in Paris. The tortures these martyrs endured were among the worst in the history of Christian martyrdom. The means included cutting off limbs joint by joint, ripping living bodies with red-hot tongs and the use of drugs to enslave the minds of the victims. Among the 117 martyrs of Vietnam, 76 were beheaded, 21 were suffocated, 6 burnt alive, 5 mutilated and 9 died in prison as a result of torture.